Hi, how you doing? This is Kim Reads Urantia. I know the hair, right? Okay. Yeah, it's good though. Okay. Yep. It's fall, so I have to do it. Okay. So we're going to read from the Urantia book. First, we're going to read Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. This is September 23rd, and this section is by St. John of the Cross. St. John of the Cross, not the same St. John that's in the Bible. This guy was born in 1542 and lived until 1591 in Spain. And they did a little research on him a while ago, and he was imprisoned. And they made a movie about his imprisonment and his struggles during that time that he was imprisoned for opposing a movement. You know, it's the idea war, guys. It's that's the ultimate level of reality they talk about in the Urantia book. These ideas that we have are kind of duking it out, and what we're, you know, in a way that's important, but in another way it's just an idea. I don't know. But anyway, okay, like I'm going to read because there's time for more ideas. I don't know. Um, yeah, but I feel that idea war. Okay, so let's see here. St. John of the Cross. May my soul learn to stay with attention and loving patience in God with total quietude, achieving nothing through imaginings or its own workings. Here, all its faculties are at rest, so you, O divine beloved, can work what wonders you will in them. This is surrender. I'm seeing surrender. One idea that was put to me recently was this idea of I don't know, Sadhguru, Hindu guy, really fascinating guy. He's not sad at all. He's a very happy person. He's a very happy person. But he talks about how our ideas and our thoughts, the whole thing is the idea war, right? It's like everybody is trying to form in their mind the best idea, the best conceptualization of how to solve the problems, or what reality is, or what God is, or human nature. Some like solve these big problems with this big great thoughts, and that's the idea war. And he's telling us to leave that behind, and our attention and loving patience will melt all the walls. This is Sadhguru now I'm talking about, but I see this reflected in this this quote by John of the Cross, because we're paying more attention to some reality that we're inventing in our mind than we are to God's reality that is created. So when we start to pay attention, to focus attention on this moment and on, each other, and to see each other, to see reality as it is, that's what we need to focus on. We need to pay our attention to that, and then all the problems melt away. All the problems will melt away then with our attention. So it's not about forming the greatest thought, the greatest idea. Because we in the West, we're so enamored of ideas, philosophy and stuff, but we want to have the greatest idea to organize everybody around and so that we can rally, and then everybody, but no, we just have to pay attention. It's like, I totally do this. You're in a room that's completely a mess. It's, everything's all out of order. There's just a total mess. So instead of focusing on paying attention to, okay, what needs to be done, what needs to be sorted out here, I'll try to develop some idea for the best way to go about cleaning this room. Should I do it from east, to start in the east or the north and proceed counterclockwise or clockwise? Or should I take breaks every 30 minutes or every 20 minutes? How would it be the best way? Should I listen to music while I do this, or podcast? Should I sort these items by, by their functions, or by their colors, or by their how, okay, what? So instead of just, digging in and just, what I mean? Like, so we always want to be above and outside of that experience, when really we just got to get our hands dirty. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I think that's fascinating. I think that Western culture is absorbed in this idea war, and will fight about how to go about solving a problem for decades while the problem gets worse and worse and worse. It's totally yeah, it's the idea war. I don't know how else to say it. I think that's the best way to say it. Anyway, okay. It's kind of a long intro today. I'm going to read from the Urantia book. Paper 19. Okay, paper 19, section 6, Havona Natives. So we're talking about all these Trinity origin beings. Okay, so there's population in Havona that are perfected. Now, that are born perfect. Okay, now, and I always thought, well, Havona, okay, so there's some few angels, but it's mostly just for us people who are the good people that come up, that are ascending. But no, it's already full of perfect people. We'll see. Then I'm like, I don't know if I can fit in there. I don't really, I'm not, but I'm going to be perfected too by the time I get in there. I'm going to be perfected. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to read it. The Havona Natives are the direct creation of the Paradise Trinity, and their number is beyond the concept of your circumscribed minds. Neither is it possible for Urantians to conceive of the inherent endowments of such divinely perfect creatures as these Trinity origin races of the eternal universe. They have races? Okay. Because they have variety there. See, I'm still trying to marry this idea that there can be perfection and diversity together. Because to be perfection seems like this totally unipolar thing. It's a loaded word. I think it's just loaded for me. Yeah. They have races. Okay, you can never truly envisage these glorious creatures. You must await your arrival in Havona, when you can greet them as spirit comrades. During your long sojourn on the billion worlds of Havona culture, you will develop an eternal friendship for these superb beings. I don't know if that's grammatically correct. During your long sojourn on the billion worlds of Havona culture, you will develop an eternal friendship for these superb beings. Okay, that's kind of weird, but okay. And how deep is that friendship which grows up between the lowest personal creature from the worlds of space and these high personal beings native to the perfect spheres of the central universe. Ascending mortals, in their long and loving association with the Havona natives, do much to compensate for the spiritual impoverishment of the earlier stages of mortal progression. At the same time, through their contacts with ascending pilgrims, the Havoners gain an experience which, to no small extent, overcomes the experiential handicap of always having lived a life of divine perfection. The good to both ascending mortal and Havona native is great and mutual. Right, because they don't understand what it's like to struggle with temptation and things like that. So they're trying to learn that and benefit from our experience. Okay. Havona natives, like all other Trinity origin personalities, are projected in divine perfection. And as with other Trinity origin personalities, the passing of time may add to their stories of experiential endowments. But unlike the stationary sons of the Trinity, Havoners may evolve in status, may have an unrevealed future eternity destiny. This is illustrated by those Havoners who service factualized capacity for fusion with a non-adjuster father fragment and so qualify for membership in the mortal core of the finality. And there are other finaliter cores open to these natives of the central universe. So they are projected in divine perfection. Okay, so they may gain experience, but unlike the stationary sons of the Trinity, Havoners may evolve in status. So they're born perfect, but they can gain experience and become even more perfect. So they can evolve. So the stationary sons of the Trinity don't evolve. So that's these universal sensors, the ancients of days, all of those guys, those down to the and the perfecters of wisdom, the universal censors, and the divine counselors, and the ancients of days, the perfections of days, all those days. Those don't evolve, and they're created in a group and like that. These guys, they can evolve. So it's like, and they can end up. They don't fuse with an adjuster but a non-adjuster father fragment. So the father has adjusters and I guess has other parts, fragments that he can dole out like that. So they can be like, serve with us in the core of the finality. The mortal core of the finality. Even these guys have no idea what it is to be mortal. That's really fascinating. Oh, now I'm envisioning this like army, this battalion of like troops that are going to go out into the great unknown and seek adventure here with them. And there's the guy who comes from, the distant planet where everything is wonderful, and the guy that comes from the really, and they're both have their own struggles, and they're best friends, and okay, that's really interesting. See, there's creation, there's all kinds of potentials in creation. That's just amazing. Okay, the status evolution of Havona natives has occasioned much speculation on Uversa, since they are constantly filtering into the several paradise core of the finality. Since they're constantly filtering into the several paradise core of the finality, and since no more are being created, it is apparent that the number of natives remaining in Havona is constantly diminishing. Okay, that doesn't mean they're dying. That means that they're leaving Havona to have other adventures, to go in the core of the finality. The ultimate consequences of these transactions have never been revealed to us, but we do not believe that Havona will ever be entirely depleted of its natives. We have entertained the theory that Havoners will possibly cease entering the finality core sometime during the ages of the successive creations of the outer space levels. Wow, which is a long time. That's like after the 7 super universes are all settled in light and life, right? Then we're going out to the master space. Yep. Sometime during the ages of the successive creations of the outer space levels. We have also entertained the thought that in these subsequent universe ages, the central universe may be peopled by a mixed group of resident beings, a citizenship consisting only in part of the original Havona natives. We do not know what order or type of creature may be thus destined to residential status in the future Havona, but we have thought of one, the Univitatia. What the heck are Univitatia? Who are at present the permanent citizens of the local universe constellations. Future types of mortals who may be born on the inhabited spheres of the super universes in the flowering of the ages of light and life. 3, the incoming spiritual aristocracy of the successive outer universes. Okay, so that's who they're thinking might be future paradise citizens or Havona natives, because so many of these Havona natives are going out on other adventures and being in these core finality and finding ways of service. Okay. We know that the Havona of the previous universe age was somewhat different from the Havona of the present age. We deem it no more than reasonable to assume that we are now witnessing those slow changes in the central universe that are anticipatory of the ages to come. One thing is certain, the universe is non-static. Only God is changeless. So awesome. So true. Only God is changeless, guys. All right, tomorrow we'll finish up paper 19. All right, thank you for being with me today. Bye.